This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, and we're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I will be joined by Ethan Robson of agmarket.net to break down the WASDE report and find out what happened in the markets today. But first, it is Andy Peterson's conversation with Bryan Britt, the winner of the Big Boar contest at this year's 2025 fair.
All right, give me your name and where you're from.
Brian Britt, Monticello, Iowa.
So tell me about your winner.
Duke?
Yep.
Duke is a pig that we've raised since birth. When I pick these pigs, he's a stimulation boar, so he smells nice and looks good for the ladies, while we artificial inseminate the sows. When I pick out stimulation boars, I try to look at the sow to get a big frame and look at the pig and get a big frame pig. So I picked him out like at 3 days that he would become a stimulation boar, and in hopes that someday maybe he could grow big enough to get to the state fair.
So you start growing them then almost from birth, right?
You have to feed the pigs correctly to get the size and the skeleton and the frame to those pigs. They have to be fed correctly from the time they're weaned. That's the big thing, is you've got to get the correct nutrition into the pig.
This is not your first time in the contest.
This is our fourth time winning.
Yeah.
We entered 4 times and we won 4 times. Including
last year's world record.
Last year was 1,420. That was my goal. I set that, and so I didn't need to push one that big.
But this is something that you work at basically all year round.
Yeah, it's something that you groom them. It's not, you just groom the boar to get to this point.
Mm-hmm. So what does Duke enjoy?
He enjoys being itched across the forehead.
Okay.
He enjoys a walk. When he was growing up in a pen with the other boars, the reason we named him Duke is John Wayne's a favorite of mine. Mm-hmm. And Duke was his nickname, and this guy has swagger, just like Wayne had, and he's just always had that demeanor that, hey, I'm the tough guy in this pen, and I'm gonna be the guy.
Mm-hmm. What does he enjoy eating?
It's really pig feed. We use a natural diet, but we sweeten it. He likes a nice sweet diet.
Mm-hmm. So he's not like some of them that get a bunch of donuts every day?
We do not do the donut thing. We tried milk last year. It seems like that stuff doesn't work for us. He likes a wet gruel. You feed him 2 or 3 times a day. It's just, you have to have that proper balanced diet.
He's not out there drinking beer all the time.
He is not. I like to have maybe a beer with him, but no, he doesn't get it. I had a boar one time that liked Captain. That was our first boar.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we named him Captain, and he did like Captain.
Awesome. Well, congratulations.
Yep. See you, Andy.
Thank you to Bryan Britt and Andy Peterson for that conversation here on AM/PM. It is time now for the closing markets. I will be joined by Ethan Robson of agmarket.net next. But first, a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Time now for the closing markets here on Ag Matters PM, and I'm joined by Ethan Robson of agmarket.net. Ethan, what did we see in the grains today as the WASDE report was released?
Yeah, very different day in the grains today as the WASDE report was released today at 11 a.m. Central. Soybeans today were definitely the story. A little bit tough to trade off guard today with the planting and harvested acres. There's a little bit of a acreage shift between the corn and the soybeans today. And so corn, the new crop balance sheet, gained about 2.1 million acres, which caught the trade off guard. We weren't expecting that. And so that had these corn today down about 13 cents. And so new crop soybeans, they actually lost about 2.5 million acres planted. And so that's really what led the charge today for soybeans having on the up and up 21 cents on the close. And so those ending stocks actually decreased by 20 million, which was better than what the trade was expecting.
And when it came to those yield numbers, I know we had been waiting a long time to see what that corn number would look like. I think some of the industry predictions had been on the higher side. We thought maybe with USDA sometimes finding more of that middle ground, that's what we would see, but it wasn't the case today, was it?
It wasn't. No, USDA definitely swung for the fences today for the corn yield. They were above trade expectations. Trade expectations today were about the 184.4 bushels per acre. USDA came out with a 188.8, way above trade expectations. Caught the trade off guard, and you add that with the 2.1 million acres that weren't expected to begin with, you have corn down about 13 cents today.
On the other side of the ag marketplace, what happened with the trade in the livestock?
Yeah, livestock, it's the same story. Tight fundamentals continue to run the trade. Have August up $2.75. We're getting close to all-time highs again. And so really the story keeps the same. Tight fundamentals rule the story, and it's important to continue to stay disciplined, have the right risk management in place.
Ethan Robson of agmarket.net, my guest here today. Ethan, for our viewers who want to get in touch for more marketing information, talk about some of the things we have here today. What's the best way for them to do so?
Yeah, visit us online, agmarket.net. Test out our intel, our MyFarm software as well. Can get a trial of that. Sign up for a free trial, agmarket.net. Or give us a call in Bloomington at 309-454-4145.
He's Ethan Robson of agmarket.net, my guest here today. Ethan, thanks so much for the time. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you to Ethan Robson of agmarket.net for joining today's show for our closing markets. Let's take a look at how the numbers finished in the ag marketplace today. You can find that information anytime under the markets tab of our website at iowaagnet.com. September corn closes down 13.5 at 371.5. September soybeans up 21 cents at 1012 3/4. September soybean meal up 60 cents at 281.40. September soybean oil up 5 cents at 53.24. Chicago wheat down 10 cents at 5.05. Minneapolis wheat up a penny at 5.79. Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 8 1/4 at 5.10 3/4. September oats up 3/4 cent at 3.34 1/4. On the Merc, August live cattle up 2.75 at 235.83. August feeder cattle up $5.15 at 345.38. October lean hogs down 18 cents at 91.60. October pork cutout unchanged at 102.23. Class 3 milk up 3 cents at 17.44. That's going to bring us to the end of the closing markets on today's show, and that's going to wrap up this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can follow us on social media at Facebook and X. And don't forget to listen to our morning, midday, and closing market podcast, as well as our daily episodes of our Iowa Ag Matters podcast at Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and Podbean. From the Iowa State Fairgrounds in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For the rest of the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network team, thanks for watching Ag Matters PM.